Hi, I'm Erin Neuhengen. Right now, I'm currently here with Ricky and Julia, who are both running for president and vice president. Now let's talk about the low voter turnout. You mentioned at the debate that one of your campaign's goals was to get students more involved with MUSG and get MUSG members out into the community. How would you go about doing this, or do you have an example of how MUSG members can better connect with the general Marquette population on a regular basis?
Yes, so this is a really important part of our platform is outreach and accessibility. Students shouldn't have to come to us with their problems. We should be out in the community, out on campus, and really available for students to come with our concerns. So a few ways that we want to do this. Senators should be getting out on campus and proactively addressing student concerns and finding out the problems. Students shouldn't have to come to us first. So we really want to get senators to have office hours outside of the office with their constituents. And then we also want to have MUSG more visible on campus, such as tabling in the AMU upstairs, tabling in other academic buildings, to really get us out there on campus so students don't feel like they have to come to our office to find us.
Neat. Now, what do you think would be an effective way to get students into more Senate meetings? Right now, there isn't much publicity about when meetings actually are.
So definitely increasing publicity about meetings, but definitely we want students to be members of Senate and not members of Senate, but to participate in Senate more than just view Senate or observe Senate. So to really get their opinions going and let them participate in our discussions and not just sit there and watch, so that they can actually engage with what we're talking about.
Okay, now moving on to the topic of the kind of Marquette bubble. Now, another goal of your campaign was to remove the stigma about the Marquette bubble. Do you have a plan on how to educate students about life outside of Marquette's campus?
Yeah, sure. I could touch on this really quick. So I really like that question because we feel that Marquette does a great job when students first come to Marquette at educating them on the Marquette community, but we also want them to realize that they're not just joining the Marquette community, they're becoming part of the Milwaukee community. So our main initiative with that is really taking advantage of our orientation week and that first week when students first get here to campus to realize that there's a lot of great opportunities on campus, but also off campus as well in the surrounding community.
Okay, so now, Julia, sadly you weren't available for the debate last Sunday since you were a confirmation sponsor, which is actually a really great honor. But however, we never got to hear from you personally what your views are on executive orders. Ellie said that she wouldn't use one, while Zach praised previous use of an executive order by our current president on the Good Time program. What is your opinion on executive orders, and how would you personally use one?
So we actually really agree with President Welton's use of executive order recently. It was for the sake of time, and sometimes things just have to happen that way. In the future, if we ever had to use executive order, things just can't be black and white. It's really hard to say, like, yes, we would definitely use it in this situation, and no, we would never use it in this case. It would definitely depend. Like I said, sake of time might be one reason, but really we want all senators to have a voice and to really have an opinion on what we're doing, and so preferably we would just say it would depend on the situation.
Okay. Now, moving on to the topic of safety. Another issue that was brought up at the debate was DPS's transition towards becoming a police force and students' more negative opinions about the change. How do you alleviate fears among students about the transition and convince them that it is in their best interest in the long run?
Yeah, I could definitely take this as well because we realize that the main student concern here is the social aspect, and we want students to realize that our newly commissioned DPS isn't actually out to just get the students and get them in trouble. We want to take advantage of the education that MUSG can provide and show them that the main goal of this is the safety of the initiative. We're here to protect the students.
Okay, well, thank you. This is all the time we have for today. Thank you both for being here and joining me and answering these questions, and good luck.
Thank you.